The GTS is always that sweet spot in the Porsche lineup, always. Sweet spot, Yuri? It's definitely in the sweet spot.
Something of a sweet spot.
This is a sweet spot.
It's the sweet spot.
That this is the sweet spot.
The perfect sweet spot.
Goldilocks sweet spot.
I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for the sweet spot. '22 Porsche Macan
GTS with wet launch control today. A W.
Oh my God! It did not
Doesn't even
slip
matter.
at all. Oh yeah!
Might as well be 100 degrees hot day out there.
Horsepower and torque.
434 horsepower, 405 pound-feet of torque from a twin-turbo 2.9 liter V6.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had more fun launching this than the Turbo GT.
Really? I mean, this does hit hard.
Yeah, and it's like a little squirrely.
I can tell you why. It's got PDK.
So the GTS is always the sweet spot. That's what every car journalist says, right?
Including ourselves. However, this is no longer the sweet spot because the GTS is now the top trim. They have eliminated the turbo, so therefore the sweet spot can't be the top trim.
And then because they eliminated the turbo, they put the turbo motor in here, and then they put like the GTS motor in the lower one and just lower and lower and lower.
So they kind of now made this the bargain of the century again.
Yeah, no, this is awesome.
Dude, if you bought a 2021 and versus this is like $6,000 more than last year, and now you have a turbo engine.
Okay, but if you talk about looks from last year, because this has been updated, the front looks interesting, but it kind of looks like really bad sometimes.
Okay, from certain angles, I guess, because of the big gaping mouth.
It's just like kind of weird. Like I kind of like it in certain angles, but certain angles I'm like, eh. And then they redid some stuff in the back too. We got it all clear back there. Like it does look really good, but I think I like the 21 bumper more.
Okay, I could see that. I don't mind this at all. I think it does look good. It's obviously more aggressive because now there's more blackness, more openings and stuff like that, so I don't mind.
Yeah, like the whole front is an opening.
Yeah.
And then we got it in this cool color of green. What's this green called?
Python green, and it's not even that PTS color.
So in the Porsche Cayenne Turbo video, I said that there's this green Cayman that I liked in the neighborhood. And that all came from when I worked at the auto body shop. There was like a 1970s Porsche getting restored in green, and I didn't realize that they had like flat greens as normal colors.
And in the Cayenne video, I said that I didn't like that particular green, which you loved, and actually people in the comments also loved, so apparently I'm wrong, and that's fine. But Porsche has so many cool greens, like Mamba green, all the wagons that we've driven and stuff with that color. Like, Porsche has solid greens.
Porsche has solid customization for everything, like literally green seat belts and stitching. I did not expect that. I expected just a paint color. Like, I get that, like, their whole Porsche, what's their thing called? Porsche exclusive manufacturer?
Yep.
Like, it's kind of gimmicky, but it's kind of like the coolest thing ever, and like, I wish more manufacturers had that.
Yeah, but it's so custom that you can't do that in high volumes. So that's why they have to charge an arm and a leg and to be able to customize everything.
And then shout out Porsche for giving us like every single version of every single Cayenne and Macan ever.
Yeah, because other manufacturers don't give us like the base model, the mid trim. They pretty much just stick us with the top trim, which is fine, but it's nice for us to be able to experience like a regular base Macan, the new update, this one, the GTS from last year, the turbo from before. Like, thank you, Porsche.
And then this has the big GT style wheels, which I guess makes sense now since this is kind of just the turbo.
Yeah, but it's not a GT car, but it's nice that you can get that kind of cool stuff like we had on the Cayenne GT and then kind of the GT3 as well.
Yeah, because I feel like the last GTS we drove had like big fat tires and small wheels.
Yeah.
But then what would be the Continental recommended tire for a non-sweet spot GTS?
The Extreme Contact DWS 06. And right now, get up to a $100 Visa prepaid card with the purchase of 4 qualifying Continental light truck and SUV tires from now through August 31st, 2022. For more details, visit continentaltire.com/TheStraightPipes.
So now I'll give this a little wet send through Cliche Corner in, let's go to Sport.
Ooh, not Sport Plus, dialing it back.
Dialing it back. This is just chill. Oh, it's slipping out a bit, a little understeer in there.
Yeah, it's wet today. It's actually raining right now.
And there, now it's better. It's like, because not everyone's going to be driving this in Sport Plus. Like, I feel like this is just a top trim that normal people would buy just so that they have the top trim?
I don't know, man. GTS is for the drivers.
How many-
Everyone else would get an S.
Literally everybody on the road has a Macan. They're everywhere, and there's so many GTSs.
I don't see that many
And
GTSs.
so many
Maybe in your
turbos.
rich neighborhood you see GTSs.
In Toronto, everyone's got Macans.
I see bases and I see S's, like quite a bit. I don't see GTSs. Or turbos, because that's what this is. Just badges that's a GTS.
No, I see a lot of GTSs.
I don't.
I'll start taking photos and sending them to you.
Please don't send them to me, but I believe you.
And to show how versatile this is, I'm going to put it into the normal mode. And I'm not even going to use sport response. I'm just going to floor it.
Quick, but not that quick. Now try sport response after the car settles back down, because sport response. Better. Definitely better.
Very, very similar. You don't even need to push the button. You can just floor it in normal and you'll go as fast as you need to go.
Sport response is like...
This isn't the sweet spot. This is the Jekyll and Hyde.
Oh, a new term!
That everyone else already uses.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, dude.
Aw, man.
Everything cars in car reviews is cliche.
I'm going to call this the Sasquatch.
That's already the Bronco.
Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense here. That's the trick.
And then to finish off my driving portion with things that I like, this doesn't have Android Auto.
It's got Apple CarPlay, so there you go.
Yeah, it's updated infotainment, and then we do have no more of those hard buttons. It's all the gloss black, whatever kind of stuff. But rich people like to have people clean stuff for them, so I get that.
I mean, this car maybe not. But anyways, because Porsche's updating their models in like kind of a weird way where certain things get updated because they can, they haven't updated the gauges, so they're kind of fully still analog, which is nice.
This is the best gauge cluster because I don't really like the new 992 style gauge cluster as much as this.
I agree.
And then we do have Sirius XM satellite radio. It does rewind. And I recently got my own family car, a Mazda CX-5.
Oh, you didn't buy a Macan?
No, I don't have Macan money. I got a 2021. It's got Tune Mix, best feature ever. I told you I needed to buy a car with Tune Mix. That was my #1 consideration. So I got that, and a 360 camera.
You got it?
And then with the brand new purchase of a car or a used car, you get a free 3-month trial to Sirius XM, including if you bought a brand new Porsche Macan.
And if you're shopping for a Porsche Macan or a Mazda CX-5, hit up tsp.truecar.com for discounted price offers.
I would highly recommend the CX-5. Like, I love it. My wife loves it. And I got it in Soul Red Metallic.
Great.
Yeah, you had to, right?
Yeah, you had to.
Prerequisite.
Yes.
But take a look at my 360 camera. See how bad it is?
Yeah.
Is it that much worse than this 360 camera? Because
Yes.
this thing is so warpy.
But still, it's high res.
But it's so warpy that I feel like I'm backing into cars that are far away at all times. Like this 360 camera, the Porsche 360 camera, needs to get completely updated. They're kind of blowing it.
De-warped.
Just like someone else needs to take over that division, and everyone there needs to get fired.
All right, time for me to drive. Launch control. Unbelievably good. Yes, it's all-wheel drive, but it's soaking wet out here.
Doesn't it feel better than the Turbo GT? Come on.
The
For a
PDK
launch?
is fantastic. Like PDK.
For a launch, it's
Yes, PDK is definitely the way to go for launches, but it's still fantastic in the Cayenne GT, and the Cayenne GT is special because it's a GT.
Yeah, but this felt better.
This is
it's
GTS.
Not a Cayenne GT, it's a Turbo GT.
Yes, whatever. You're right.
I made that very photoshopped thumbnail, so I spent a lot of time staring at that logo.
Fair enough. I kept calling it a Cayenne.
You know,
GT.
nobody noticed that thumbnail was photoshopped. No one commented that the wings were bigger and the wheels were bigger.
Yeah, no one comments on a lot of things.
Photoshop master.
Okay, so lots of things going on with this car. We do have the GTS Sport package, and that package costs $13,000, which gets you a lot of stuff. You got carbon fiber on the inside, you got these 18-way adjustable seats, amongst many other things. But I'd like to talk about this carbon fiber because I love it. My favorite being on the steering wheel.
Yeah, the steering wheel part is what convinced me that this carbon fiber interior is cool, because usually I don't like carbon fiber interiors or don't care for them.
Yeah, you're kind of over them. I don't even know if you ever really liked them. I always loved them.
Yeah, I never really liked carbon fiber interiors. It just didn't make any sense to me. But when it matches the wheel, then the looks do it for me.
Ah, interesting.
That's the key.
That's the new rule for you?
As long as it matches the wheel, I'm cool with it. Other than that, give me like brushed aluminum or wood or something.
And then we've got an Alcantara or Race Tech steering wheel, and then the green, I think they call it deviated stitching to match everything. Whoever spec'd this out, they knew what they were doing.
They probably worked at Porsche,
They
too.
probably do currently. And there's one funny thing with this particular version of the Macan. They actually put the manual shifting button on the steering wheel because over here we only have drive.
No, it
instead of
doesn't
having-
shift to the left anymore.
Exactly,
And
so-
remember all the first Macans? It was up for up, down for
Yes.
down, instead of opposite like the rest of Porsches.
So they've eliminated that completely, so you can't ever do that ever again.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so anyways, you do have to press the M button. That's the only way to get into manual shifting mode. And then shifts quick because PDK. Really nice 7-speed PDK.
I bet you a lot of people aren't going to even use that because most people just buy this because it's the top trim.
I bet you that's not why they buy it, and they will use that because it's a GTS.
Leave a comment below if your parents bought one of these and they don't even realize it's fast. I guarantee we're going to have like 1,000 comments like that.
0, maybe 1.
That exhaust sounds like really, really good.
Yeah, so you get the sport exhaust. This is a fantastic sounding V6. Let's take a listen to the outside. I love how this thing sounds. Like in here, out there, like this is great. It's got this nice growl to it. It's not too loud. I'd say it's perfect.
It's got that high pitch
Yeah.
when you shift gears, which is the thing that I like about my 6-cylinder SUVs that always sound so great.
And this thing, like the pickup, it doesn't feel like there's turbo lag at all. Like this is a fantastic engine. No wonder they shoved the turbo one into the GTS. I wonder what the next turbo is going to be, or is it just going to go straight to EV?
Electric.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Let's send it in Sport Plus through Cliche Corner, but it is raining, so I can't send it too hard anyways. Yeah, I mean, not really too much body roll. Definitely more body roll than the Cayenne Turbo GT, just because of the sway bars that thing had, I think, and the way it was set up, but it's still Macan, still rips. Super fun to drive.
It's a Porsche, but it handles like a car.
Yeah, and then the suspension is also not too stiff, just like every time. It is definitely stiff. It's noticeable because it's the GTS/Turbo.
Would you say the suspension is the sweet spot of Porsche suspension?
I probably would normally, but since this is kind of a cheater turbo, I can't anymore. But anyways, dialing the suspension down because this is air suspension, putting the soft mode and going over this bump, great. Like totally fine for daily.
And we have an off-road button.
Yeah, you can jack this thing way up.
And then we also have buttons in the trunk to lift or lower it when you're loading stuff, so let's take a look at that. And then also all the door sills have carbon fiber there too, which, especially in the trunk, makes me worried that I'm gonna scratch it up every time I throw a bag in or out.
But that's better than the chrome that I've seen Porsche putting in because I feel like I would scratch that even easier.
Let us know if your parents scratch their turbo or GTS Porsches and don't even care.
And since this is a Porsche, just like every other Porsche, the driving position is fantastic. I'm lower to the ground than I was in the Cayenne Turbo GT. Feels slightly more car, and especially in here, the seats are comfortable, but there's a lot less room in the back. So if you have a family or something like that, you got strollers, you got kids, you got car seats, it's kind of tight back there.
Yeah, but there's enough. Probably the same amount of room as like my CX-5.
Yeah, which is pretty tight.
No, more than enough. You have a dog, that's why.
Yes.
I just have a baby.
Yes.
So then you need to get like a E63S wagon or something.
I probably
Maybe
should.
an executive sedan or like a limousine.
That would be fun. And the final thing on driving before we get to the most important stuff of this review, the steering, pretty tight, but I like it. It's not too tight. It's got that GTS stiffness.
Yeah, feels nice.
And last things now, cup holders, totally fine.
Yeah, we've got a higher raised cup holder on the right side so you can fit your small there. And then the
best for
visors,
last.
they'll never pass.
No, no.
3, 2, 1.
Fail. Always Porsche.
With all that out of the way, let's get to the sweet spot price.
It's not the sweet spot, it's the top trim. This one starts at $85,500.
Canadian.
And this one is spec'd out to $111,870. Very fitting for a top trim.
Yeah, it's very cool. I like it.
And it's definitely more money than last year's, but you're getting a lot more here. This has so much more power than last year's model.
But just a heads up, if you're trying to find one of these on tsp.truecar.com looking at used Macans, compare it to every single one of our reviews because every year, every trim, so many little things change. And if there's one feature that you really like, just make sure that model has that feature.
Yeah, and if you want Android Auto, you still gotta wait or buy a Cayenne.
Yeah, Apple.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week or the next video, which could be this week. I don't know what day it is today.